Hey guys, my name is Alan Finn, and I am a coach at Value Heavy Coaching. Today I'm going to bring you two tables of 25 NL Zoom. Took took in some feedback on spots from just people watching videos previously, and yeah, I just decided to do it with two tables, no overlapping, etc. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, anyways. So I'm going to plan to do maybe 30 to 45 minutes, give or take. Okay. Um, Size down a little bit here against the guy who's opening the size and the cutoff. Could call also with two recreations behind. Probably should have done that in hindsight. Um, Queen 8, we're going to go for a 3-bet here. Okay. And here we're just going to start with a 1/3. Seems reasonable. Good board for our range. He calls, and we are going to check back this turn, I believe. Still beat some of his range here, 7s, 8s, 9s. Some Queen Jack, obviously blocking Jack 10, or sorry, King Jack. And King Queen isn't good here. So we're just going to be folding this river to a bet, I think. Yeah, here's Jacks, which is fine. I wasn't calling a river bet there anyways, so it's all good. Two is we're just going to fold. Ace 10 suited, we will be 3-betting, or opening at least. Opening it is. Ace 2 is going to fold. Ace Queen, we're going to be 3-betting as well. Marking this guy. Again, just sizing down a little bit more against the guy who's offering for pot size. I don't think we need to go that much bigger, especially when you're sitting with 60 big blinds. He gets to call. I mean, going to go for a 1/3 here as well. Could even bet smaller in this spot, given his stack size. I guess we kind of just bet 1/3 on the turn here again. And probably just jam river, I think seems fair. Hope for folds from Jack X. I don't know, maybe some 9-10, stuff like that. And I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That line is absolutely fine there, by the way. He's not ever gonna fold top pair, obviously. Gonna open this versus recreational. He's not gonna fold top pair there, but he still has some queen tens, jack tens, stuff like that, where it shouldn't be calling river. But the bluff itself is absolutely fine, especially with the ace of diamonds. You couldn't have asked for a better run out, better flop to just bang it off there, basically. Especially versus the sizings we use. He's still going to have a pretty wide range by the river in general. So yeah, not going to be too upset over that. Open. It's going to go for a range bet here with the fives. Big decision, mate. Well done. Four six, we're going to be defending versus the big blind. Oh, sorry, in the big blind. Check fold and flop. 4 8, we're going to fold. Easy fold, unfortunately, even against that size. That hand combination. S4, we're going to be probably 3-betting versus an open. On an 89 here, I think we actually just fold. I'm not sure what the exact frequency is here in general, but I think we're supposed to fold versus that on an 89. Could be wrong in saying that. I know it's squeezing there at some frequency. we're going to open. This time we're going to be 3-betting. 8-9 we're just going to be folding. Queen time we're just going to be calling. Check raising the flop, I think. Or maybe we're just supposed to call here. Start with a bigger bet on this flop again. Start betting pretty happily here now. And now we're just going to bet 3 streets with this. And we're just going to be bet folding this river. Seems reasonable, I think. He's still going to have ace 5, ace X here a lot. And yeah, we're just kind of fucked here, I think. Wow, we are running fucking pure. Absolutely pure. Nice river there, obviously. Yeah, it's just an easy fold. Very easy bet fold there. Very, very easy bet fold. Bit lucky there with the ace king, so I'm not going to complain over anything else really for the moment. I mean, we can't really fold there. I don't know this player type. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's doing that with a worse ace, and if he has ace 10, or I mean, he's peeling ace 10 off first to 3-bet, so I don't need to say any more about that. Um, so it was nice to get lucky in that spot. Nice to get lucky in that spot. Ace 6 was going to fold. Uh, 6-4 we are going to open. H3 we're just going to fold. Going to go for a check call here. Just going to be doing a lot of check fold and unimproved on turns. Um, his sizing on the flop here is kind of interesting. I'm going to check here again. Yeah, I was going to call this river, and the reason why I was going to call this river is because his sizing on the flop. I'm going to peel here with the fives. His sizing on the flop, like, was mostly going to be ace X here, I think, or some flush draws. So when he checks back the turn, I think his range is like super capped here. That like 6-4 is probably the best hand here. Because if he bets this river, he's basically saying he has a jack, and I don't think he picks that sizing on the flop with a jack. And if he does, then fair play to him basically. Um, I don't think that's going to be the case. So I would have called that river anyways if he had bet, because the line itself doesn't make sense. Would just look like maybe he can bet some ace X on the flop to be fair and check back turn. But I was willing to pay a price on the river to find out for sure, which I would have done pretty happily. Sevens here we are going to 3-bet. I think against the recreational we want to defend the 6-3. It's definitely on the bottom end of it, but I think we can just call a little bit wider versus the 2.5x open. Um, Again, I think his range is somewhat capped here on the river, or sorry, on the turn. I think I just want to start attacking this. Just going to go for 1/3 here. If he calls this turn, I think we're just going to give up on rivers, because I don't know if we have that much fold equity after he calls on the turn here. Yeah, so I think we would have just give up the river there, for the reason I mentioned, that he's basically only going to continue there with basically a heart, I would say, or some turned pocket fours, best case scenario, which is probably still going to get sticky on rivers. So his range is just capped there basically when he checks back that flop, where we still actually have the strongest hearts there in our range where he doesn't. Gonna 3-bet this ace 5. So I hope that makes sense. It's very easy fold here. Open the twos. Gonna fold this 5-10, I think. Marking these guys again. Again, marking this guy. It's gonna fold 10-6, or whatever that was. Not gonna defend this versus a 3x open. And the fact he's a shorter stack as well, less reasoning to do it. 6-9, we're just gonna fold. 4-7, just fold. Aces, we are gonna open. Hopefully get some action. Looking for a squeeze. Would be nice. We're going to fold here and go for a check raise here with the aces. And now we're just going to start betting pretty happily here. I guess we just block bet this river again and fold to a raise. I think that's okay. There is some worse hands that are going to call us there potentially. But yeah, it's just again to avoid him doing something that's going to be annoying on rivers if he turns his hand into a bluff there. He's going to go for a bet here. Queen 5 is going to be folding. I think we're going to check back this turn. I mean, he's going to fold now, obviously. Don't make it too hard of a decision for me, mate. Let's mark this guy here. Easy 3-bet here with the ace queen, obviously. This guy marks as a recreational as well, so I don't think he's going to find enough 4-bet bluffs there in this spot, so it will be an easy fold versus the 4-bet. Yeah, don't have to say any more about that. Again, just going to be marking this guy and folding the deuce 7. 6-7, we're going to be folding on this roll as well. Ace 7 also. There seems to be like a fish on every table, which is very, very good. Or recreational, whatever way you want to classify it. Again, just more and more and more. 3 of them, 4 of them here. 4 of them. There is money on 25 and L, guys. Twos are not going to be opening on this roll. Ace 5 off, we are at a low frequency. Uh, 3, 4, I think we can get away with opening here. I think it's the bottom though. Again, we're just going to go for check call. Potentially check raise here, but I'd rather do it with that heart on board. And again, we're just going to be checking the turn here. With this hand exactly. Could block bet as well, but I don't think it makes much sense either. I'm just going to check fold this river, I think. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be value betting worse on that run out. Or just betting a worse hand, should I say. Nice 7, holding this here. Folding the ace 7 here, folding the ace 6 also. 2, 5, we're just going to fold. Mark this guy. We'll be defending this, sometimes 3-betting it, but not against this size. We're just going to be playing a pot against a fish. We're going to be 3-betting the kings here. We're just, I think we're supposed to fold versus this size, and even though we have the good shot in the backdoor straight, or sorry, backdoor flush draw. It's an annoying spot. I mean, we're going with kings here, obviously. I'm just gonna fold there. I'm not happy about it. It's a bit close there. I think we probably should call that, but again, it's like 1.5x pot at 1.3 or something like that. Again, in theory, you're probably supposed to call that, but just gonna exploit fold it there in that spot. Pretty sure in theory, but like in theory, the guy that bets that size in position is gonna have some bluffs there. But I don't know what range he's doing that with, so could just be a losing call against whatever range he's doing that with, but it's not going to be a massive mistake either way for that sizing, given we've very little invested pre-flop and post-flop for that matter. Um, can probably open ace three here this time. It's not full frequency for my ranges. Gonna go for a check call, I think. 9-7 is gonna fold. Just gonna check call versus this side. We could probably bluff raise this as well sometimes, but I think ace three is somewhat okay here, just to check call more preferably. If I had maybe queen three here or something like that, I might start check raising a little bit more aggressively, but I'm not 100% sure on that either. Just gonna be folding this turn now. Um, Very easy fold now. Ace jack here against the recreation. I think we're gonna go for a three bet. This isn't full frequency for me, I don't think, but against the recreation, I think we can expand a little bit more wider just to isolate them. Easy fold versus a four bet, obviously, without question. And yeah, take your time, buddy. Um, I think against the recreation here again, we're just going to be more likely just to call. Again, I just don't expect him to be three betting optimally, so I'm not going to start four betting optimally. It's going to be a board as well. I just decided to get this in on. We are going to stab one third here because we have to deny some equity to king, queen, ace, king, stuff like that. Not going to be happy if he check raises. And again, we're just going to bet one third here again. I think is reasonable. I guess we just check back this river because I'm not sure what worse is going to call us. It's a pretty narrow range either way. Yeah, we could have four bet that pre. I did roll a four bet there anyways on a 36, but you know, against the recreational, I'm kind of more call heavy because I don't again I'm not going to be four betting a range where I'm four betting against a player who's just not three betting enough. So it just doesn't make sense. Queen Jack, we are going to defend here. King Jack, we're going to start off at a one third here with two overs and a backdoor straight draw. And we're going to call here. I guess we're just going to check fold this turn with King Jack. It's going to call here one more time with the Queen Jack as well. We're gonna check call this river, I think, as a bluff catch. I don't think we can maybe block bet that to be fair, but I don't wanna. I think the fish might bluff here, and I don't think this is ever a bluff either. Um, we'll call here with like the Queen of Clubs or something like that. Like this just looks so much like value. Like just straight up value here. I mean, folding Queen Jack here is like super exploitable, but I just don't expect like anyone to ever find enough bluffs there. BB versus oh sorry, under the gun. Excuse me, under the gun versus big blind. Just not going to have enough bluffs there, especially for that size. And that's just like queens, kings, aces there, in my opinion, and definitely the combinations with a club to make their life easier to bet there. And he has to bear in mind as well that I have some 4-5 and stuff like that. I just don't see any bluffs there. All I see is a value range mostly. I'm not going to level myself into calling there when just no need to at all. I would call there like cutoff versus big blind, button versus big blind, stuff like that. But even like that, I'm not that happy. But at least in that scenario, ranges are wider, where they should have a wider range, but when they bet three streets, they just don't find enough a value to bluff ratio by the river. Again, primarily it's just like under the gun versus big blind. It's just yeah, I don't expect anyone to find enough bluffs there. So exploitably folding top pair there. We'll call ace jack and king jack. I think it seems fair, but we'd still lose to a lot of hands there in general. So yeah, I think king jack we can call there. We'll call again queen jack with a club. Seems reasonable, I think. But yeah, without a club there and just in that scenario, just gonna be giving up. I think just folding, exploit folding in that spot. Get the fold here with kings, which is fine. Happy with that result. Three time we're just gonna fold. King nine we're gonna be defensive versus recreational. Not for someone three bets though. We will fold the queen jack here also. Tagging this guy as a recreational. There's another one here. Folding the 4-6. I was gonna say it's probably a weaker player for call calling there, but there is two recreationals behind, so I don't mind it as much. Queen three, we're just gonna fold. Start with a bet here on this flop. Again, in theory, this is probably not a bet here, but betting your equity can't be that bad. It's a good board for our range, anyways. And we're gonna go for a check call here with the ace nine. I mean, this is just like ridiculously strong, like beyond your wildest dream. This is so strong. Again, we're just gonna check out the ace and just try and check this down. Obviously, we got a call with a good shot. Um, this is just ridiculously strong in these positions. Finding a check raise on ace high board. You find a check here, so we're just gonna start bluffing here. Just gonna start bluffing here because we have to. What I perceived it to be quite strong in that scenario was not. Um, very weird play in general to do that and just check fold turn. Doesn't make much sense to me, but it's whatever. Going to be calling Jack 10 this time. Probably going to go for a check raise as well versus smaller sizing on this flop. And we are going to attack that pretty happily. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Going to be c-betting pretty wide on that flop in general, I would say. So just attacking it is going to be good there with that combination. Going to be opening this against the recreational. And Jack 4 we're going to open here also. Just marking the guys here. Going to be getting quite aggressive, I think, on this flop. Blocking, well, we're not opening 4-2, so it's pretty irrelevant, but we're going to start with a bet here anyways, I think seems fair. Are they going to go for a bigger bet, actually? And we're going to be checking back this turn, on this turn, I think. When he calls that size on the flop, I just don't like it. I want to realize my equity. We'll continue on a heart there pretty happily, but yeah, when he calls that flop sizing on that, yeah, it's just going to be a lot of ace X there where I don't think we have that much fold equity. And if we have to bet turn there, we have to go very, very polar along with doing that on the river. I don't think that's really necessary. A little bit excessive, and some might classify it as spewy. But yeah, I think when he calls that size on the flop there, it's just going to be, you know, best case scenario, maybe 3-4, 4-5, which we block. Um, but yeah, going to check back to queen two. I think we're going to check back this turn as well. But he just bets, so it's whatever. A3, we're just going to fold. King 7, we are going to open. 6-3, we're going to fold. Very easy fold there. Just mark this guy. And mark this guy. Forgot to mark that guy. Going to be defending this ace-8. Versus that size anyways, it's fine. You start stabbing this flop if he checks, but we're just going to call otherwise. Kind of want to raise this sizing though. What is it like? A little bit under half pot. And calling here is just going to be fine. If he checks this turn, I think we're going to start bluffing. He does this weird sizing again. I guess we just call in position here again. I don't like, it's just a little bit weird, his sizing. I mean, I guess I go for value here in this river. I don't think he's going to believe us that much anyways. I should have probably folded here with the fish in the blind with the 7 BBs. But it's whatever. He's going to bet this now. Hand looks exactly like what it is, but yeah. I think we could have raised the turn there, or the flop, against his sizing. Looks pretty weak anyways. But having the ace high there is somewhat relevant also. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. I would definitely raise other combos of 8x there. But ace X there, ace 8 is could be just more of a call there, I think. But I'm not 100% sure on that either. I will be defending this ace jack pretty happily. Not now though. Two 6 is going to fold. Like against this guy, we just want to isolate. Play a pot against him. I don't expect him to fold pre. We are just going to go for a half or 1/3 here. Could go for a half pot as well, but we'll see what happens. Going to go for a check call on the turn. I might get a little bit sticky against this guy if I'm being honest with you. We'll see what happens on the river. I don't think he's ever going to bluff this river, given how our range looks here. Yeah, I mean, he said that this ace saved me a lot of money because I don't think I was going to fold there. Given he limp call kings there, he's just going to have, I don't know what else in his range. Where I think we can probably get away with a check call again on the river, on even on a non-ace. The ace saved me, obviously. I could have got a little bit sticky there against that guy. Very weird player to do that. I am going to defend ace A first, even versus 3x, and we're going to go check raise and versus 1/3 to half pot here potentially. I like a check raise here with the ace of hearts. I think it seems reasonable. I'm going to fold king 6 here. We'll continue on hearts, obviously. So again, it's just exploiting the oversea betting scenario. And having the ace of hearts there is good anyways. Can check raise more frequently versus smaller sizings, especially with that combination anyways. If you bet bigger there, we just have to check call, mostly. Don't think we can ever fold in that spot with the ace of hearts anyways. People make it easier when they bet smaller, just to exploit that. Okay, 2 hands. I guess we bet with this combination. It's not ideal with two diamonds and a club, but still think we want to be betting with a double gutter. Seems fine to me. We get raised here, so this is very, 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 very strong in my opinion. So obviously we're going to defend, but we're just going to be folded. There's a lot of bad turns, that being one of them, but it's also a good bluffing card in my opinion. If he decides to check, we just have an easy fold now versus that. Yeah, I would have started bluffing there if he checked. Um, his check raise in the flop is like very, very strong anyways, so you know, don't always like getting many folds on the turn, but on a non-board pairing river, I think we would have got some folds. Um, I kind of want to peel this against the recreational, so I am going to, and we're going to call here as well with the Jack 9, and we're going to check back this King 6 for some pot control, some deception. Don't think we need to bet on this flop. Not going to be happy if he starts piling it. I think we just check back here one more time. It's like the worst fucking river. I mean, we're going to lose. We should have lost a lot more there. Um, Again, that's just not really a hand we want to start really putting that much money in with. I just think it's a better bluff catcher. Um, and just better to pot control in general. But yeah, it's just there isn't really that many rivers, bad rivers, except a 10 or an ace. You know, again, that ace saved me technically. Just marking this guy again. We are gonna three bet this and fold to a four bet. Gonna fold 9-7. I think this guy's a weaker player. Cold call now the small blind like this, so I'll give him the weaker player tag. I'm just gonna go for a half pot here, I believe. Some backdoor draws as well, but again, don't make it too hard of a decision for me, man. Okay, we are gonna check back the 9 here in this scenario. It's a pretty decent turn. Just gonna raise here like the 12 big blinds, set up a reasonable SPR on the river. Can make this even 13, I think seems fair. Get the fold, unfortunately, but you know, I think we want to raise there either way. Don't think we're going to get folds from Jack 10, Queen Jack, King Jack, stuff like that. So I think stabbing there or raising the turn there is better. Eights we're going to open. And we're going to defend versus this sizing. We'll start folding versus bigger ones, but against this sizing, it's just very easy, if not a pure call. Interesting flop. He goes for 1/3, which is whatever. Obviously continuing here. We'll see what happens on turns. It's a good turn for him to double barrel here, but I think with the 8 of clubs, we still have to. I guess we just check this back and reevaluate on rivers. I don't think he's going to have many check raises here, but our hand needs some protection as well. I think we're just going to check it back. I guess we just check this back as well. And yeah, that's okay. Anyways, I don't think we have a bet on the river there, and I don't think we have a bet on the turn, especially on monotone flops like that. Could be an argument for stabbing the turn for some form of protection, but you know, might be a little bit overdoing it, I think. King Queen here, we are going to squeeze and just stack off against this guy, I think. I don't think flatten here is good, so we just got to go for a squeeze, I think, and just get a very, very quick call by this guy. I don't think he flats much like kings or aces here, but I could be wrong in saying that. I think we're just going to go for a 1/3 here. Like tens is part of his range, stuff like that. I think we're going to go for a check raise here, but I don't think this hand is two streets or three streets either. I'm not folding versus that. Jesus Christ Almighty. I don't know what these guys are on, lads. I don't know what these guys are on. I mean, how the fuck can you have 4-6 off there is just beyond me. Like, how is that even possible? I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I would have got slightly annoyed if if I had lost that, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I can't complain if he's calling squeezes like that and he just like jams 2x pot on the turn. Um, yes, just whatever. I don't know what to say to that. It's hilarious, really. Very, very much funny. But these games are good, guys. These games are good. Plenty of bad players, plenty of recreationals, plenty of fish. Should be no reason you can't make money at these games, in my opinion. Um, I don't think Queen 7 is good enough to defend here, unfortunately. Obviously going to start with a 1/3 on this flop. Okay, well, targeting King X here. He's not going to have much jacks or queens. So I'm just kind of hoping, like, I mean, yeah, okay, he's going to have like ace queen, ace jack here sometimes, but we're targeting King X here mostly. And I would bet the same here with ace queen, ace jack especially. So there could be some argument for checking back here as well. Um, but we do have bluffs here, which would be, as I mentioned, ace queen, ace jack. It's not the cleanest river in the world, but I don't think he's going to fold King X here. I'd be very surprised if that is the case. Um, there is bluffs we have here, like ace queen with the ace of spades, queen of spades makes sense here as well. Obviously ace jack also we're going to have. Um, so we do have bluffs in this spot, to be fair. Bit unlucky river for him, but I mean it's whatever either way. He has to call turn. I don't think I called pre-flop though. That's the thing in these high rake environments. That hand just doesn't. Yeah, I mean I'm not going to say much about the strategy for pre-flop, but I don't call that in that scenario. But yeah, post flop plays itself obviously. Very lucky river for us that it stacks him. But as I said, we do have bluffs in that spot. Spade blocker, ace queen, ace king might follow through there, but ideally with the spade combinations, the offsuit ones, which we're going to have full frequency in that spot. Ace jack and ace queen off there. Button versus cutoff. So we would have that. I think I'm going to go for a stab here with the queen jack. Could check again, but still some value to be had. Just get value from eights, sevens, nines, tens, that range. I'm going to go for a half pot here. Actually, I'm going to go for 2/3. I think it's fair here. But yeah, our hand needs some protection there, and we can still get value from worse hands with that sizing. King 7 is just going to be a fold. Very easy squeeze here, I believe. We'll be getting it in, obviously, versus either of these guys. I think with the fish in the blind here, we can get away with cold calling. And I'm going to fold on this roll. I guess nines on this flop versus this size. I guess we just fold here. Not many good turn cards, to be fair, especially on that flop. I'm not one for calling on the button, but there was a recreational in the big blind. So I don't mind just like peeling one there. I hate this guy's size of what we are going to call versus this. We're going to continue unless he bets quite big. He checks back. I guess we check here again and probably just check fold turn. And I guess we check again and probably check fold. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. Yeah. I just don't know if he ever's going to find enough bluffs there on the river to bet. I know it's like his hand doesn't make sense there, but I probably still would have called that river either way. I think so, anyways. We're going to wrap it up there now, guys, actually. So next big blind seems to be like 40 minutes of a recording. So hope you enjoyed it. Um, it was a swingy session. I'll show the results at the end of it, anyways, if you want to see that. So open here. I'll be calling three bets. With ace queen suited here. I think this actually might be a four bet get in on my ranges. I'd have to reference them again, but I'm just going to call against the recreational again. Probably check call flop. Unless he bets quite big. Going to defend versus that size and two overs, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. There's a lot going on. Check. Going to fold on this turn, unfortunately. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed it anyways. Looking forward to hearing your feedback. Let me know, is this layout better than having the three tables and stuff like that where the tables are overlapping? That's what the feedback was that I got off a few guys. But anyways, yeah, looking forward to hearing your feedback on the video on how you think I played. Until the next one, take care.